So it may be the coffee, or I might be cold, but I am scared to death. I don't know, I watch all you guys do your presentations and it's absolutely amazing. And now it's my turn and I'm just like, blah. I can't figure out what in the heck. So this is my why. This is Dina on the left and Ashley and Mia on the right. They're also right here sitting down with us. So with BNI, it's important to me as I meet each individual, all of you folks, is that I get to know you on a one-to-one basis, more than just a one-to-one for my business. It's important that if we're going to interact and if we're going to pass each other business, I want you to know about me. I want you to know where I come from. So in 1994, I joined the Independent Electrical Contractors Association. That's where I did my apprenticeship. Okay, it's an organization that takes all the contractors, electrical contractors, and they give them an association instead of a union. So I went to a formal education for my apprentice. Sometimes people say, wow, that guy's kind of serious, or he has this blank look on his face. Well, sometimes we want to just make fun of ourselves. So I'm not always serious. So on the left, this is Ashley and myself, and we were just making fun of each other. I always tell my kids, hey, make fun of yourself, have fun, it's okay to sometimes be a dork. And then on the right, the funny picture about that, we got our Wahlborg electric shirts. And the picture is not about the shirts, it's about the funky haircut. Okay, so if you look at that, I did my own hair and it was really short, really short, so I thought that was funny. I'm trying to make fun of myself. So 1994, I started in IECA, Independent Electrical Contractors Association. I came here, my dad dropped me off as he went to California after he retired in the Navy. He spent 25 years in the Navy, and that's how I grew up. I was very disciplined in everything that I did. I had to make my bed, I had to be ready for school, all my homework had to be done. So that's where the discipline comes from, and I can't change that. But he drops me off and he goes to California because after he retired, he decided to become a 25% owner in the Rainier Corporation, which is a big electrical outfit out of Seattle. And they just happened to move to California, where he ended up getting on board, and in 5 years became the largest service electric company in the United States with 70 electricians, just service. This isn't the new construction, this is the just service. A guy going out to your house, hey, what do you need done? I need a ceiling fan hung. Hey, I can't figure out why my lights don't work. This type of thing. They still did electrical panels and everything under the sun, you know, new construction as well. But my big thing is I'm an apprentice, you know, I'm out of high school and I need something to do with my life. And you know what? Things aren't working out for me. Let's go become an electrician and follow my dad in his footsteps. So I talked with my dad, who came here and brought Rescue Electric and Sierra Electric to the Valley. And that was in 1993. Well, 1994 is when I started my apprenticeship and I wanted work. I'm like, hey, Dad, hire me. Let's bring me on board. So Dad looks at that and he's like, oh no, I can't hire you, son. What do you mean you can't hire me? He has 100 employees and he can't hire me to be as an apprentice. And he's telling me, no, go through the apprenticeship program, go get fired a couple times. Literally, he wants me to get fired. Why would you want that? You know, but I need to go build my foundation in order for him to hire me. He's not just going to hire me right at the get-go. So years went by. 1996, 97 approaches, and now I'm a journeyman electrician. Well, I'm a baby journeyman electrician. I'm not entirely, you know, I don't have my free reign. My father decides he's going to separate, for legal reasons, the corporation out of California, which the organization out of California, he had to separate for licensing issues here in town. So all my dad's guys ended up going to work for me because he couldn't contract until his licensing got situated. So I started a company called Atom Electron Service Electric. Now keep in mind, I'm almost a 4-year electrician. I'm just a baby, okay? I just got my blue tag. I actually can call myself an electrician in Arizona. And I'm starting out this service company. I took all my dad's guys to work with me. And we did small jobs, all service. And my dad ended up going to work with one of the guys that worked for him. By the name of Joe Grimes. What's interesting about that particular part of the story is that we happened to be on the same job at each other. We had a big job. Adam Electron Service Electric was called to do a certain part of a job, and then Joe Grimes Electric was called to do another part of the job. And we met on the job site. And my dad is looking at me like, why are you guys here? And we're looking at him, all of my dad's guys, which there was like 4 service guys, myself and an apprentice. We're looking at my dad going, hey, why are you here? I mean, I know you're my dad, but hey, why are you here? So we're like, well, we're not big enough to do the whole job. Well, we're not big enough to do the whole job, my dad says. So we're sharing the job. So my dad's looking at me saying, hey, you guys are big enough, you have enough calls to keep all these guys running? I said, oh yeah, Dad, the phone doesn't stop ringing. That's awesome. So my dad wants me to hire him. I'm like, you're kidding. Why would you do that? You're working for one of your guys. I said, well, in all seriousness, and this is verbatim, I told my dad, I don't know, Dad, you might want to go get fired a couple times. So a little bit down the road, 2008 happens, and we get going. I end up buying out. I went to lunch with a gentleman by the name of Aaron Eddy, who owned Desert Canyon Electric Corporation at the time, and he was thinking about filing for bankruptcy. Well, to help build my foundation, this is where I come from. So I'm sitting down with Aaron Eddy, and I talk him into selling the company to me. So overnight, I went from being able to do thousands of dollars worth of work to being able to do millions of dollars worth of work. Not that we had millions of dollars worth of work, mind you, but I haven't seen a lot of those. But I ended up merging with my dad's company, Rescue Electric Incorporated, and we ran together for 16 years, about 16 years until he died in 2011. And once that happened, of course, that shattered my world. My world was done. That was everything. He always answered all the questions. He was the go-to person for every electrical question I could have possibly had. Anyway, Rescue Electric ended up being shut down. Actually, we ended up sending that to one of my dad's favorite electricians who followed him from California to Idaho to Utah to Colorado to New Mexico, opening up shops. So that was his favorite electrician, but I ended up going to work as the chief electrical technician for CampCore USA, and we build man camps. We build man camps for the oil companies in Canada and the Prudhoe Bay area in Alaska. So some of you know me as an Alaskan fisherman. I go fishing in Alaska. That's one of my passions. That's what I do. And this is what drew me to this. So have you ever seen a mobile home, a single wide mobile home? Have you ever seen a 60 wide mobile home? Okay, so what we do is we have 1,000 to 2,000 feet of these containers side by side, 2 stories high, separated by a 6-foot walkway. And it's a man camp, basically. So I'm the chief electrical technician, and this is what I do. These are 600 amp distribution centers. I'm responsible for 8 of these complete. So that's a total of about 700 to 800 men can sleep in the units that I've built. And this is the panel on the left is the 600 amp distribution center. The panel on the right is simply a junction box. We're very detailed in what we do. This is where I'm kind of a little bit on the anal side when it comes to electrical work, because everything that we do has to be specific and measured. So these are our 24-port low voltage panels. We've got data, we've got security, we have the coax, and the phone system runs through this also. These are the panels. These are individual panels that I'm alone responsible for. I've had anywhere from 19 to 22 people under my, call it a command. Basically, I've got 5 true electricians that actually run these jobs, and I come and inspect. Everything is very detailed in what we do. If we go to your house or your client's house and it's a simple outlet that we replace, we'll replace it for a price, but it's going to look like this. It's going to be to code, and it's going to be at standard or above standard. So just having fun with this. There's one of our fans that we've installed. From ceiling fans to pendants. Kind of nice. I had a customer that actually had a house, and that was his entire ceiling. And yes, we do spas. So I've done about 4 of those spas. Those are about the largest spas that I've ever done, except for the commercial side, but this is residential. I mean, who wouldn't want that in their backyard? So some of the remodels that I've done, this is one from last year. This is absolutely awesome. We've got these 3 individual fans, right? They all want them, or the customer wants them on remote control. Okay, I can put them on remote control, all of them. They don't want all of them on one remote. They want individual remote controls. So I spent the next hour to 2 hours trying to figure out how to do this. You know, every time I'd fix one, the other 2 would turn on. And I'm like walking around shaking my head. It's actually a pretty cool thing. So I'm going to wrap it up real quick. So this is what happens with aluminum wiring. When we have loose wires, when I'm talking about, this is the result of what can happen. Some of the remodels, some of my guys. I have 4 subcontractors. And this is what it's all about. This is dedicated to the greatest man that I have ever known. This is Mr. Rescue Electric himself. And this is absolutely everything. He has paved the way for my success. That's the greatest man that I've ever known. That's Ernie Wahlborg Sr. And thank you for your time.